So the fabric I used, it's cotton fabric, but you can use something a little bit stretchy, so you do not need to add that to yours. So first thing first, I am marking 32 inches here, and I'm going to be adding 1 inch sewing allowance here. So this is my 32 inches and 1 inch allowance. I'm going to be using this place as my shoulder line, this part here. So I marked 4 inches for the wideness, and for the depth I used 4 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and curve this. And on the shoulder line, I'm going to be dividing my shoulder measurement by 4, and I'm going to mark it here. Add ½ inch allowance to that. I'll come down by 1 inch, and I'm going to be slanting this. I'll divide my armhole measurement by 2. I'll mark it here, and this is going to serve as my chest line. I'll connect this loop down to the chest line like this, and on the chest line I'll divide the bust measurement by 4. I'll mark it there. Here I'm going to mark the middle point. I'll come in by ½ inch, then I'll use my ruler and just connect this to give my armhole, just like this. And after that, from the shoulder line, I'm going to be marking the bust point. I'll mark the bust point. And I'll roll this. From the shoulder line, I'll mark the under bust. And I'm going to also roll this. On the shoulder line, I'm going to be marking the waistline. I also mark the hip line. Then I'll go ahead and roll this lines like this. So let's label this. This is our chest line, our bust point, our under bust, our waistline, and our hip line. So on the bust point, I'm going to be dividing that measurement by 2. That is nipple to nipple. And I'm also going to be placing that measurement on the hip line. And I'll connect this like so. On the waistline, I'm going to be marking ½ inch here, ½ inch here. Then I'll come up here by 2 inches. Then here by 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead and connect this from waistline all the way up like this. I'll connect this and I'll connect this. So this is my dart here. And on the waistline, I'm going to be dividing the waist measurement by 4 and I'll mark it here. On the hip line, I'll divide the hip measurement by 4 and I'll mark it here. I'll subtract 1 inch from that hip line measurement and mark it down here. But you can take out 1.5. It depends on how tight you want this part to be. I'll then go ahead and connect from the chest line down to the waistline. And from the waistline, I'll connect it to the hip line. And from the hip line, I'm going to take it all the way down like this. So after doing this, I'll go ahead and add sewing allowance to this. So on the chest line, I'll add 1 inch. On the waistline, I'll add 1 inch for that allowance and extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. On the hip line, I'll add 1 inch. And down here, I'll add 1 inch. Then I'll connect this together. Connect from the hip line down like this. After doing this, the last thing we need to do for this front piece is to add allowance to the shoulder line, sewing allowance. So I'll add 1/2 inch this way. Then I'll go ahead and cut this. Today's special hug is for Londia Frisia watching us from Orlando, Florida. I am so glad you enjoy our tutorial. You are welcome and thank you for watching. Please let me know where you're watching me from so I can give you a special hug in my next video. And if you're yet to be subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and you can also share this video. Thank you so much. I'll place this on a plain paper and I'll trace this for our back piece. So this is our back piece and this is the chest line. We don't need the bust points for our back piece. That's our waistline and our hip line. Another thing I did different here, on this armhole area, I did not go inside like the front piece. So on the chest line, I am going to be dividing the dart measurement by 2. I'll mark it there. On the hip line, I'll do the same. I'll connect these together. On the waistline, I'm going to be marking 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch here. Then I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches upward like that. And I'm going to be connecting this to meet in here. I'll connect this to meet here and I'll connect this to meet here. I'm going to let you know why I trace this on this pattern paper instead of marking it direct on the fabric. Another thing I did different for this back piece, the wideness of the neck is the same 4 inches, but the depth I used 3 inches for my back neck. So on this waistline, I'm going to be going in by 1/2 inch. Then I'll connect this line up like so. And I'll connect this down here like this. Just like this. And I'll go ahead and cut this out. So why we came in by 1/2 inch, so that the zip will not be puffy. We want our back zip to be flat. So on this waistline, I'll just cut it into 2 like this. And I'll cut this all the way down. After cutting it, I'm going to be taping this down. I'll tape this down. Then at this point here, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch. I'll mark 1 inch here and I'm going to slant it all the way down like so. I do not want the back zip to be puffy. That is why I am doing this extra step. And this is the reason why I traced it out first on a pattern paper. I'll go ahead and tape this together like so. I'll tape this, then I'll place this on a fabric and I'll cut it out. So with this method, your back zip will be flat, no need for puffing. So this is the front pattern. I place it like so, you can see. The next thing, I'll go ahead and cut out facing for this. This is what we're going to be using. I'll use this and turn the neck, the front neck. I'll hold the darts. I went ahead and added bust dart to it anyway. I'll do the same thing for the back piece. If you're using a stretchy fabric, you will not need to add that to your own fabric. So after this, after holding the dart, this is what I had. I held the zip. I'm going to be joining the shoulder at this point, and I'll also shape the side of the dress. After doing it, this is what I had. I fixed the zip. And it's time to fix the sleeves to the dress. Next thing I did, I cut out this piece here. So the width is 2.5 inches. I'm going to fold this up again. Fold this like so. Then for the length, what I did for the length, I just took out the 32 inches. I took it out like this. I marked my full length and I added 3 inches allowance to it. So this will complete my length. I went ahead and iron 1 inch like this. You can weave this edge for it to be neat. I brought back the dress like this. I'll open the side seam. After opening the side seam, I'm going to be placing this piece, this long piece on it. Then I'll pleat it. Let me turn this around for you to understand properly. This is how I did the placement. So you can see this 1 inch down here. I just place it on the dress and I'll start pleating it. You take it to the sewing machine. As you pleat, you sew. As you pleat, you sew. As you pleat, you sew till you're done with this piece. What we're trying to achieve is this design here. This is what we're trying to achieve. And this is the finished look. Once you're done, you can go ahead and iron this. You can see how rough this is. Please try and weave it for it to be neat. And this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Also like this video.